Hi friends, Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and my pal Estaldo and I are here today to talk to you about some fantastic books that we just recently read that we think you're going to also be really excited about. So like I said, these two books I actually read within the past week, and I just could not wait to tell you guys about them because they're amazing. They're both very different books for various reasons, but I think you'll find that they're really awesome. So the very first one is called Maya and the Rising Dark by Rena Barron. Maya and the Rising Dark. Look at this cover. Now, you guys know I am a sucker for a good cover, and this is just beautiful. Look at those colors. I still can't get over how amazing this cover is. And you can see, it's kind of hard to tell, but down here underneath her, standing in the shadows, looks like an outline of a city. But just those colors, the way she's holding that staff, she looks so strong. Yeah, this book is amazing. So it's about a girl named Maya, obviously, who lives in Chicago, and she's looking forward to summer break with her friends, but she keeps noticing these weird things that start happening. First, there's a couple moments where the color actually bleeds out of the world, and everything freezes but her. But she's the only one that seems to notice that this has happened. And a couple moments later, everything goes back to normal and nobody knows what she's talking about. Next, she keeps seeing these weird shadowy figures at night running around her neighborhood. But again, she seems to be the only one that knows about these things. Well, one day when her dad has disappeared, he's on his way to work and he's gone, she realizes that her family has been keeping secrets from her, and her dad's work is actually a little bit more complicated and mysterious than she originally thought, and it's up to her and her friends to save him and the whole world. Oh my gosh, this book is so incredible. I kept thinking that it was going to be a Rick Riordan Presents book because it has that sort of a feel to it. Very adventurous. It has a lot of mythology and folklore in it, but it's not. But that doesn't matter because it's simply just an amazing book. And Maya is a great character. She's very headstrong and brave, but also scared about what's going on. And I think that that's a great, role model for you guys to read about, because being brave, as we all know, doesn't mean you're not afraid. It just means you keep going anyway, even though you are afraid. So this book is absolutely fantastic. It is going to be the first one in a series, a new series. So definitely check this one out and see what it's all about and get hooked just like I did. Maya and the Rising Dark. I still can't get over this cover. The second book is really different from that one. Now, this one is called The Magnificent Monsters of Cedar Street. The Magnificent Monsters of Cedar Street. And this is by Lauren Oliver. Now, I first got this book from the library because I am a huge fan of this author, of Lauren Oliver. She writes a lot of young adult books. She writes other children's books. She writes some regular adult books. So when I saw that she had a new book out, I was very excited because I love all her work. But this one might be one of my favorites by her because it's absolutely fantastic. So this is about a young girl named Cordelia who lives with her father, and they like to spend their days tending and fixing monsters. Yes, you heard that right. Monsters. They have a vet practice that they run, but it's really just a cover for taking care of all these monsters. So apparently there is magic and monsters in the world, and sometimes they need help. Sometimes a dragon has a broken wing. Did you know about that? You did. Oh. Well, sometimes a dragon can have a broken wing. Sometimes a swamp monster dries out and needs some help. Sometimes a fairy might need some help flying again. And because of that, this is where Cordelia and her father come in. And they're kind of shunned in their community because people don't want to believe in monsters, and they think that they're not worth saving. They think that regular animals and human lives are more important and that monsters don't matter. But Cordelia knows that that's not true, and she loves to help her father. Well, one day her father disappears with no warning, and all the monsters are gone too. Oh, well, I guess these two books do have something in common where the stories start where the fathers disappear. So she has to team up with her friend Gregory, a street urchin who lives in the city with her, and they have to try to track him down, her father down, and all these monsters. And they have all these adventures along the way. They have all these helpful creatures that aid them in their journey. I love this book so much. It has so much heart to it. And it has a really great theme of the fact that all lives are so, so important, even if other people think they might not be. And everything and every life is so precious. And I love that theme. And the writing in this book is so beautiful. But I have to be honest, my favorite part are all the monsters. There's lots of really cool descriptions of different animals in here. Yes, there are dragons, which of course are my favorite. But there's also just a lot of other really interesting and cool creatures. My favorite, though, would have to be a Zuppy. You have to read this book just to read about the really cute Zuppy, which is here on this front page. And a Zuppy is a zombie puppy. Isn't that amazing? A zombie puppy. A Zuppy. That's him right there on the cover. And he's super adorable and cute. So this book is absolutely fantastic. I really, really recommend it. It's probably going to be one of my favorites of the year so far because it's just a great story. The writing is really awesome. The characters are great. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there's also some really cool illustrations too. Here's a picture of Cordelia rescuing a dragon that's hurt in the woods. And here's a picture of Gregory with his Zuppy. And there's lots of cool illustrations like that in the beginning of the chapters and throughout the rest of this book. So, highly recommended. Well, that's the books that I have for you today. We've got Maya and the Rising Dark and the Magnificent Monsters of Cedar Street. I hope they sound really awesome and interesting and that you like them as much as I like them. If so, you feel free to check them out at the Farmington Community Library. You can do that through our curbside service or also just come into the building and get them as well. Thank you so much, friends, and have a wonderful rest of the day.